Good evening, everybody. Well, listening to all the clapping, which is just awesome for the NHS, methinks. Okay, so here we go. MuteMaster 1. I've also added electronicsounds.com to the descriptions list, where you can get some awesome loop packs and sample packs. Dean's sample packs are brilliant. So if you wanted to ever check them out at Electronic Sounds, there's some free stuff on there as well. So it's in the descriptions below. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Hope you are all well. Okay, so MuteMaster, yes. It's like an automatable mixer. You can create track fades and fade ins and fade outs to a set time, not like over like mega long periods of time and stuff like that, over like a second or so. But it makes a massive difference. You can also choose which tracks mute and which tracks don't mute. Now we'll get into this. I'll explain exactly how it all works and all the rest of it, and then you can decide whether it's something you would like. I kind of think that it's definitely, I watched like Jason Donnelly's DJ Puzzles videos, and he's brilliant for AUM, and I think this is where it's strongest in AUM kind of performance sessions. However, you could use it in anything you like. It's in AUV3, but it works slightly differently, which we'll get into that as well. Okay, so at the moment we have the 4 riffers playing the 4 instruments. Okay, so this is super easy way to do this without no MIDI keyboards or anything, just using the iPad. And we have the beautiful Synthmaster 1 in 1, then we have Frames FRMS in 2, then Pure in 3, and Lagrange in 4. Now, I have MuteMaster 1 bypassed. Now, I'm just going to play this with all of it, everything playing at the same time, and it does sound a little bit cacophonous, if you know what I mean. There's too much going on. Here it is without the MuteMaster. So it's too busy. It doesn't sound right. It's all wrong. Blah, blah. Now, before we get into switching MuteMaster on, I will want to say that I have Riffer set up a pentatonic neutral in this scale setting things, and all of it's set to A, so it's all A pentatonic neutral. This is the way you're going to keep some semblance of, you know, continuity in the tracks. So let us unbypass MuteMaster, and let's open up MuteMaster 1. Now, I'm going to explain this in a minute. Okay, so it's pointless me doing it now. You'll get confused. You can watch these patterns change as I've programmed them, and you can watch the active patterns swing around here as the pattern progresses. But listen to how it sounds now that I have some MuteMaster patterns programmed in over the 4 channels. Now you'll see that there's only 4 channels highlighted because there are only 4 synths. Okay, so MuteMaster is a 6-channel mixer. Okay, right. But no, I hadn't either, Colin, but it sounds nice. Here we go. So here we go with the track with the MuteMasters added. What's happening is MuteMaster is fading in, fading out, and muting individual tracks as I've programmed them inside MuteMaster. Okay, so hang on just a sec. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze then. I probably will again in a minute. Right, anyway. Let me explain what's going on. If we go, look, we've got channel select 1. Channel select 1. And in number 2 here, you'll see it's, actually, it should be channel select 2 there, actually. And in number 3, it's channel select 3. And in number 4, it's channel select 4. And then you'll see the active pattern there is 6, but that's only because I've just opened it, because MuteMaster works the same in each channel. So you're not having to set up 4 different things and go into each MuteMaster independently and set them up. Once you've set one up, you can program it to do various things. So for instance, active channel pattern 1, I'm going to engage channel 1, 2, 3, and 4. So they're all engaged for pattern 1. Okay. And if I play this again now, once it scrolls around to pattern 1, all 4 instruments will play and it'll sound loud. So we're on 4, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then all of them. Now you can also set the speed up as well. Okay, so you can set the speed of how the divisions change. Now doing it like this is a little bit confusing, right? Because you haven't seen it been set up, and we haven't gone through the sequencer and the different ways to choose that. So I think the easiest way to do this is to set one up and show you exactly how it works. Okay, so I have another session here, so we'll open our files and we'll do this Noir test plate, which is one I set up earlier, which is 6 noirs, and we're using the 6 available channels in MuteMaster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all the MuteMasters, okay, and then we're going to put them back in so we can construct a new session with MuteMaster, so you can get an idea. So this could be anything. You could have a files app playing beautiful slow chords. You could have a drum pattern playing sequences. Anything you like in the channels. Okay, this is the important thing, that MuteMaster works over whatever you feed into it. However, it works slightly differently. So what we'll do is if we open a MuteMaster here and we'll go audio unit extension, and we have to do this for each track we want to use MuteMaster on. You can't just duplicate the channel. It wouldn't work like that. So here we go. MuteMaster there in channel 1, right? And there it is. And you'll see that the channel fade is set to 0. I'm going to select this as channel 1. Okay. And then we shall go to another one here and open MuteMaster again. So audio unit extension. MuteMaster, here we go. And if we open this, you'll see we can set this to channel 2. I can switch that off. I don't know why it's remembering previous thing. Oh, I do, because it's part of the session. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so I'm still going to put that there. I'm going to put that on. Is this number 3? Yeah, I'm going to put that on active channel pattern 2. And I'm going to change this to pattern 1. So for each channel, you want to set a pattern and a what. It doesn't have to go in numerical order. It's just that it's easier if it does. It makes more sense for the tutorial. So again, we shall go audio unit extension. We shall go MuteMaster, and then we'll have a look at this one, and we'll set this to channel 3. Okay, we can switch that off for now, and we'll set active channel to pattern to 3. You can do all this though on mute. This is my point is, once they're all set up, you can set it all up from one MuteMaster and it will affect all of them that you have opened up. Okay, so we'll audio unit extension again, MuteMaster, and you'll get this as soon as I start to set this up. You'll go, I get it now. That's it, sort of thing. So do this, and we'll put that on channel 4. And we'll go, that's because there's one in here. So we'll do this and set this on channel, we'll leave that on channel 6. There, like this. But it's actually, is it channel 6 or channel channel 6. Yeah. I'm going to put this on. I'm going to put another MuteMaster on here. MuteMaster. I'm going to set this to channel 5. And I'm going to set this one to channel 6. So all my channels are set up. So let's go back to the actual beginning of the session. And before I start, I'm going to show you, it's very, again, this will be very cacophonous without any of the MuteMasters engaged. So we'll bypass it all, although I have nothing set up. So we'll just play. So very noisy, very busy, too much going on. That's with no MuteMaster applied. Oh, hi Jason, how you doing, mate? So that's with no MuteMasters applied. I suggest you watch Jason's videos on MuteMaster as well, but as I did say at the beginning. I did say, Jason. So what we're going to do, we've got 6 MuteMasters, we've got 6 noirs, and we're going to start to set these up. So I'm going to go with channel 1, channel 1, and we're going to set this to active pattern 1. So channel 1 to active pattern 1. And for this first one, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to engage channel 1 and leave all the others switched off. Okay, so there you go. And I'm going to go to this one now. I'm going to go active channel, active pattern 2. Sorry, I'm going to do a bit my thing. So active pattern 2, and like it's already done it because it's remembered the session. So active channel pattern 2 and channel 2. Okay, and then without moving over to others, we'll go to pattern 3, which will be, actually I'll do this properly so you don't get confused. So active pattern 2, channel 2, then we can go to channel 3. I've reconnected. Is it back? Is it? If it carries on buffering, guys, I'll have to stop it. But we'll crack on as long as we can. Anyway, we'll go this time to active pattern 3, and we've got that selected on active pattern 3, channel 3. Now we'll go to channel 4 here. We'll set this to active pattern 4 on channel 4 and choose number 4 like that. And then we shall go to number 5 here. Choose active pattern number 5. Make sure our channel select is on number 5. And we'll highlight number 5. So that is the only one that's going to play. Okay. And then we shall go to number 6 here. Choose, it's on channel 6 already. Choose active pattern number 6. And highlight that so that is playing. And then for the last 2, we'll change it, the last 2 patterns, so we don't have any more actual channels to play with, but we do have 2 more patterns to play with. Okay, so last pattern we're going to leave set at pattern 8, and what we're going to do now is go active pattern 7. This is remembered it from when I set it up earlier. We're going to have channel 4, 5, and 6. And then this is why I'm saying we don't have to move off MuteMaster. We can just run through our active patterns. And active pattern 8, we're going to have channel 3. So what's going to happen? Let's go back through our patterns and see. See, if we move from pattern 1, let me get my mouse out of the way. If we move from pattern 1, we've highlighted channel 1. Pattern 2, pattern 3, pattern 4, pattern 5, pattern 6, pattern 7, and then pattern 8, and then it'll go back to pattern 1. We're going to leave this set on divisions of 4. The probability won't make any difference unless you have probability selected in the pattern source, but we're going to stick with division for now, so you don't need to worry about the trigger sequencer. Division is set there. 1/4 sequence length probably won't make any difference because the division is set, not the sequencer. Last pattern length is 8. If we set that to 3, it will only ever go to pattern 3 and then just keep looping around from 1 to 3, 1 to 3. Okay, we're going to leave trigger source on BPM. Okay, but we could put that on sequencer or key or whatever. And we're going to leave divisions on 4. Probability we're going to leave in the middle, but it's not going to make any difference. Channel fade. Okay, so select the channel. Channel fade won't make a lot of difference in this particular thing because it's drums, but it makes a massive difference because if you're getting something that's got like a, oh, here we go, I'm going to buffer again, and if you've got something that's got like a little click, you can just drag up the, okay, I'm still running here. Thanks, darling. Okay. But listening to this now, let's listen to how this plays. And that shouldn't be doing that at all. So that should be. oh. I tell you what I'm going to do, right? This is weird. I don't know why it's doing this. I'm thinking it's maybe because I've tried to set up a new session over and above the one that was set up. So I'm going to clear this out and reload that session back in. I shouldn't have done that. It should have started switching them on and off. That's very strange. Let's load it back up and see what happens because I haven't made any adjustments to this. Okay, so theoretically, this should work. But if it doesn't, I don't know. Maybe it's a bug. We'll see. I want to just check my active patterns are the same. Yeah, they're the same. Okay, so. Right, this is more like it. What should happen now as we travel along? I think what's happened is it hasn't liked the fact that I've tried to overwrite my originally saved session instead of setting up a brand new session, which we can try in a sec. So as we go through now, each time it changes per BPM on the division settings, okay, the channel will change and it will travel through the different noirs, as it were. And we'll get a 3 and then a 3. So you get the idea there. Pattern direction is kind of, if we go random, it's going to choose from our, it's just going to choose different patterns. So we'll go random here and watch the pattern, active pattern will just jump all over the place. We can leave that on forward. You can go backwards as well. And okay, so sequence division, last pattern we've looked at, you'll know what that does. It won't go any further than like the pattern you set as the last pattern. Excuse me. We can set pattern source for BPM, but let's set it to sequence now and see what happens. So let's set that to sequence. Let's set our pattern divide to sequence as well. Let's leave our divisions there. Sequence, and let's set our pattern source to sequence as well. So if I play this now, theoretically, if I'm thinking right, nothing's going to change. Nothing is going to change because we haven't got to give it a sequence to change. So if we hit now 1, every time the sequencer travels along, it's going to change pattern. This isn't telling it which pattern to play. This is telling it when to change the sequence. Okay, so when it travels around again, it will now swap to its next available sequence. And since we're going forward in pattern direction, it will just go to the next pattern we set up. this is where we can start to look at the divisions and the sequence of divisions. So they're kind of self-explanatory. They work like any sequencer. If I'm going to go up to 1/16, they're going to go quicker. You'll see, watch. It's changing very fast now. Okay, so you get the idea. So we'll set up another completely fresh session now, which should make things more usable sort of thing. Anyway, you get the idea of how that works up and kick off. Okay, so let's clear out this session completely. And just to be on the safe side, what I'll do is I shall open it up again, AUM, just in case I've got any zombies hanging around. Do you know what I mean? We don't want the zombies, do we? So, anyway. Right. So, in this one, we're just going to do 3 because I want to show you some cool stuff we can do. So, let's change that there. This is more or less my OCD because I like channels to be in order. I'm going to open 2 more. There's a quick tip for AUM as well. You don't have to slide or press plus. You can just double tap to add another, slot. You can do that with the effect slots as well. So I'm going to use the same thing as I did before. I'm going to use a riffer for each one. So we go riffer, riffer. Actually, we'll use alternate just to show we can use different things. Alternate, and we'll use 3 alternates and have them run at different speeds. So alternate and alternate. Like that. Okay. I will set these alternates will all be more or less the same, but we'll set the clock for this particular one on a quarter, and we'll just generate a different sequence. I'll leave it all on C major. It's easier. I'll set this one on 1/8 and generate a different sequence. I'll set this one on 1/16. So we should get, but I'll leave it all on C major and the rest of it the same gate length, etc., etc., etc. We don't need to go too deep into alternate. And we need some instruments for the alternate to play. So let's do something simples here. Let's have, let's put a primer in there because they're only going to be monophonic sequences, so it's cool. And in this one, audio unit extension, we shall put let's put continua as well. And last but not least, in audio unit extensions, let's put okay. Let's put a, where is it? Let's put a phase maker, okay, because I want you to hear what's going on here. Now, all we need to do now is assign our synths to alternate and then choose some sounds that will be suitable to use. Okay, so in this first one here for primer, we shall assign it to alternate 1, and in continue we shall go alternate 2, and in this phase maker we shall go alternate 3. And we'll turn the volumes down a little bit and we shall see what's going on when we press play. Let's choose a different sound for that. Let's choose the sound for continuer. And I quite like that one. So we've got 3 synths playing at different resolutions across there, all been played by Auto in C major, so that's fine. And playing relatively different sounds so we can hear the difference. So what we're going to do now is let's go MuteMaster, MuteMaster in the first one, and we shall put a MuteMaster in this one as well. So you get the idea. MuteMaster audio extension, and this is specifically to show you the fade in and fade out feature. Okay, now I know this is actually the beta version, and this has had the update. There was a glitch with one of the fade things, so this is the new version. It will be out, I don't know, tomorrow or the next day, but it's, you know, it's coming real soon. It's already been submitted. I think Kai submitted it already, so I don't know. Anyway, we'll go with MuteMaster in this one too. Oops. And now we've got 3 MuteMasters. We're going to do what we said we would do before. We're going to set channel select. This is channel 1. And I just want to make sure that this is channel 2, as you can see. It automatically happens, you see. But I'd messed around with that session so much, it must have been getting confused. And then channel 3, okay? And we've set no patterns yet, so let's do that. Let's do what we did before. Let's go, actually, let's slow the whole thing down as well, so because I want you to hear the fade feature, because you'll know it's going to be great for like ambient stuff, which is very, very cool. Okay, so in this first MuteMaster point, what we're going to do is, if I play this now, you'll hear nothing, by the way. Oh. Right. You know, make sure your bypass is not on. All of the channels are now muted, so we're gonna channel select number 1. Pattern number 1 is the active pattern, and pattern number 1 is going to be primer. Okay. Pattern number 2 is going to be continuer. Pattern number 3 is going to be face maker. Pattern number 4 is going to be those 2. Pattern number 6 is going to be those 2. Pattern number 5, sorry. And pattern number 6 is going to be all of them. And then pattern number 7 is going to be switched off, and we're going to leave it running. Actually, no, we won't leave it. We'll set our last pattern to pattern number 6, which is the patterns we've got. Okay, so playing it now, and we'll make sure that all our fade settings for each of the actual patterns are set to 0, like this. We'll do this one to 0, and we'll set this one to 0 too. So now we need to set up how we want it to play. So it's running on sequence at the moment. Well, I want it to run on division. So we'll set that to division. Leave that going forward. We'll leave that set on, we'll put that on division, and we'll put this on BPM. And I think we'll have divisions of 4. So let's hear that. So you can see what's happening there. As per us setting up our patterns here, it's as each pass of the BPM, the host BPM, not in this case AUM, is going to be changing dependent on the divisions we have set for the actual BPM here. And we have it on 4 divisions of the BPM, so it changes every second time round, sort of thing. Anyway, but we still have not gotten. You might notice, you might be able to hear, if you listen very, very carefully, you might be able to hear like a kind of a, it's almost like a little click. So not super smooth changes, and that's what we want. So active pattern 1, let's run this fade up now to about halfway. Let's go to active pattern 2. Actually, a channel fade for 1. This is channel 1, you can see here. Let's go to channel 2. Actually, I'm not sure if I can do this way. I need to go for each one for the fade, because you might want different fades per instrument, sort of thing. Now listen to the effect with the fades. Okay, so I'm gonna just do this. Hear that now? You can hear them fade in and fade out as well. So let's set this at max, which is, looks like it's 1 second now. And Jason, DJ Puzzle, I think this was his suggestion. And also the bypass was his suggestion as well, which is very nice. So now we're going to get very smooth changes occurring across these. And that's lovely, isn't it? That sounds really, really nice. So now if you wanted to, like, kind of, you could do your probability here. This would be dependent on your probability setting here. It works really great with sequencer. So let's, in this particular instance, let's take another look at the actual sequencer. Okay, kind of thing you can do with the sequencer. So let's set this to pattern source sequencer. While we're here, let's set to the chance source for the sequencer as well. And let us just then put this to sequencer as all. So to divide trigger source as a sequencer. And let's do this. Now, let's go with this, switch it off. Hopefully this won't change. It'll just keep going round and round until I put some sequencer information in. Advance. But let's do it like this. So taking the channel fade down now, you'll feel much harsher changes because the speed's gone up and we've put more trigger points in the sequencer. So if you wanted to create kind of harsher sequencer changes, more for more rhythmic effects, like using multiple drum patterns or stuff like that, or harsh sequences, have your channel fade set a lot lower and you'll get a lot more noticeable differences. If you want that really beautiful smooth blending and for ambient and stuff like that, adjust each channel fade to suit each MuteMaster, and you'll get some fab results. So this is a lot harsher now, and no matter what the speed now. And that, guys, is basically MuteMaster. You just set up your patterns as you wish per channel, and then you can mess around with all the timing controls as much as you want. There's not many of them, so this is like the utility modules, and then there's your sequences and stuff, and then your mixer section where you can choose your patterns. And like I said, more of these will highlight up to 6 channels worth if you have like 6 instruments running, like we did at the beginning, or like we did at the second part of it with the noirs. So yeah, brilliant. that's basically it. That's basically MuteMaster. Yeah, it's really great. If you like that kind of thing, because it takes, for instance, it would be very difficult to kind of automate that or try and do it all kind of what's it on-offs when you wanted it to. But don't forget, you can kind of have the probability setting, and you're never going to know what you're going to get. Do you know what I mean? Especially if you've got like probabilities and reliability and stuff like that set up in this, or in absolute riff of what I had at the beginning, playing independent and variable sequences with MuteMaster. So like, for instance, with our let's load in. Okay, Pure takes a while to load. Sounds nice when it does. Oh, Joe's got a new track on SoundCloud, folks. Chong. What's it called, Joe? I did tell him in the chat at the beginning, but very nice. So if what was that saying now? Completely forgotten. Anyway, oh yeah, Riffer. I've got it set on, and it'll change every single pass. So this is not going to sound great to start with. Fragmented Evolution from Joe. We shall have a listen in a moment, I think. So what I'm going to do is, I think it's all set now, isn't it? I can reset these. Riffers always needs a bit of a reset. Right, so this is going to sound better. What we'll do with this one is I'll set the channel fades really high for each of these, and it should be very blendy. So it should sound really nice. that's how you get that kind of beautiful blending fading effect with letting MuteMaster's doing all the work, you know what I mean? All you've done is, all I've done is set up 4 sequences playing the same scale. I mean, I could even swap it up a bit because that's playing halves. This is playing halves. Let's see, what's this playing? That's playing once. So you can speeding the resolutions up inside MuteMaster and then changing the revolutions inside the riffer or whatever sequencer you've got. You're really starting to kind of mix it up in a nice way, not in a bad way, of course. Anyway, guys, should we have a listen to Joe's new song? On Soon Clued. I'll just clear that. So yeah, I hope you enjoy MuteMaster. Let's go and have a listen to let's see, what have we got? SoundCloud now. SoundCloud, Synth Widow. Here we go, Fragmented Evil. As Joe told you how she did this. It's very interesting. I'll see if you can guess that and I'll explain it. She probably already has. Here we go. All right, B Jung, let's hear Joe. We're in it. We're in it now. 45 followers. More followers, folks. More followers. Right, anyway, look, 17 tracks now. Wow. So, Dark Notes. We could play that as well. It's a new one. So let me just watch my volume. It's not too loud for this. But this is Fragmented Evolution. So what she did is she took, she used Evolver, Paul's new app, and she devolved Evolver. So she found a sequence or made a new sequence or whatever it was of, the 4 lanes. And she played everything. she wrote it as well. So she found a thing in Evolver, and then she took segments of Evolver and mixed and matched them. So it's kind of, some of them are playing on their own, and as the track progresses, different ones come in and then go out again, come back in, and then at certain sections of the song, they're all there. The whole sequence is there, sort of thing, and then it changes again. And some of the drums were Cubasis drums. Some of the drum loops Cubasis drum loops and stuff like that. And as always, Joe likes to use loads and loads and loads of reverb and stuff like that, and effects. Big fan of Lisa's effects and reverbs and eventide stuff. Yeah, so she started a new one tonight. Honest to God, it sounded like something me and Colin would do. So it sounds prog. It's like orchestral. Honestly, I'm not kidding. I was really surprised. I didn't think she'd do something like that. But there you go. She started that tonight, and it's pretty majestic as it is. She loves a good reverb. That's true. Anyway, so should we have a listen to Dark Notes while we're here as well? So this is Dark Notes as well. So this was done 2 days ago. Fragmented Evolution's only been up a couple of hours. So this is Dark Notes. She's a big fan of Pure Synth as well. There's some layer in here as well. Yes. Cool, eh? I thought that was quite a brave track, actually, because there's nothing really... It's just basically a single instrument with the effects doing... creating a lot of the ambience as well. I think she used a layer for the wind. In the back, I'm pretty sure it was layer. But yeah, it's nice, I like the fact that she's like me and Colin. Not really keen on doing, what's it? The standard chorus, verse. Me and Joe have done so many songs where it's just chorus, verse. As listening to our stuff, but that we've done together. So it's nice. That was the ones, the Dark Notes. That's why it's called Dark Notes, and that's a photograph of a MIDI keyboard, I think. Jo does all her own photography as well, obviously, and so it's all her own artwork and stuff. But yeah, it's good. It's VV. It's VV good. But Joe, this was the one that Joe just decided to use the black notes. So you got a pentatonic scale, which is it's a nice way to play keyboards, especially if you're not a brilliant keyboard player. Yeah, that's why it sounds oriental as well. But anyway, guys, there you go. So I hope you enjoyed the MuteMaster stuff. That was pretty cool, I thought. I think it was quite the nice app. Interesting because there's nothing. It's not very often you get a completely unique kind of app, is it? Really, you don't. There's not many unique apps left. Something that doesn't do something that nothing else does. Yeah, I like. But you see, with the harsher stuff, it doesn't sound right with this particular session type thing. This kind of thing here. Setting long fades just don't sound right. You kind of lose the immediacy of it. Actually, to be fair, it still sound okay. Oh, well, I guess it really depends on you. What's drum and bass? So about 170 BPM. 174, 170. Well, we'll do it 172. It'll go pretty quick. But you see, for that, definitely, I would want to be running it quicker. Well, dubstep's about 140 and D&B's about 174. It's pretty good, but I would want to be going like this for drum and bass. And maybe speeding it up. Changing patterns very quickly as well, so Anyway, Wall's new disco dance album will be out soon, guys. I'm only kidding, Wall. I'm only joking. We're saying about Wall's. Should read Wall's stuff on if you're a patron. Most of you are, I guess, patrons. Well, some very interesting comments. He's got a blog on Patreon and things like that. While I was reading that as well, also, about you saying about the interfaces. Your interface is one of the Steinberg URs, isn't it? And you said you're running out of, two ins and is not enough. Which is true. It's not really. Unless you're kind of just doing it for your own kind of thing or whatever, you don't not want to plug loads of stuff in. You should look at the Steinberg UR44, which has got 6 inputs. It's got 4 XLRs, 4 standard ones. It's also got 2 inputs on the back as well, so it's got 6 inputs, but it's got 4 separate outputs plus 2 main outputs as well. Plus, it's got MIDI. So you can, it's like a bit like the audio fuse. You can do like pretty much everything with it. It's really good. And obviously, Arturia sent me the audio fuse. I wouldn't have been able to afford one of them. It was miles too expensive. But yeah, in interfaces with at least 4 to 6 inputs and some outputs. Some maybe 4 or 5 outputs, 4 or 6 outputs or something that's pretty good. Which you can do some cool stuff with, all that stuff then. Guys, listen, yeah, we use DistroKid. Me and Colin have used DistroKid for years for our stuff, and it's great, just goes everywhere. I mean, you wait for Yonks to get your money. We don't think Colin checks it that often, but You know, eventually you get some dosh for it or whatever if anyone's bought your stuff. But yeah, we used DistroKid for a long, long time. Exactly what money we don't make any money from the music, guys. Do you know what I mean? We really don't. We're lucky if we get like 4 or 5 actual real sales. I'm not kidding. But you don't do it at our level. You don't do it for the money. You do it because you love music. You know what I mean? And you want people to listen to your stuff because you want people to like it and enjoy it as well. You know. Anyway, I'm gonna go. There it was, MuteMaster. And very nice it was too. No, no money to be made. No, we get played on lots of radio stations. It's good for us. We enjoy it, the thing. But God, you know, if you go into making music to make money, well, you should never do that anyway. You should never go into producing music to make money, unless, of course, you're a genius and can, you know, pretty much write in any genre, produce top quality stuff, and then you might be able to sell it in stock music and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You know, check out some of Jason's videos, DJ Puzzles, because he writes stock music that gets used in stuff. You know, it gets used in major games and things like that. And if you ask him, he'll help you out with stuff. You know. But don't ever write for anybody but yourself. And if you're going just for yourself, and don't ever think you're going to make any money, because it's highly unlikely you will. Me and Colin are pirated loads. It don't matter. Who cares? It's only music. Guys, bless you all again for watching. Yeah, you see, but you can do that. You can do that, Mitch. Video games, sound effects. Jason does that. But you can do it, you know, if you join one of the library companies. But there's so many people doing it. And I've got to be honest with you, there's so many brilliant people doing it as well. Yeah, we are big in the Russian black market. We are brilliant. People love us in Russia. They don't pay for it. Listen to it. It was great, though. But yeah, we can listen to our music for free anywhere. If you've got Amazon, or if you want to listen on Bandcamp, you know, don't do it for the money. Do it for the fun. Anyway, guys, listen, brilliant. MuteMaster, top job, cool beans. Don't know what I'll be doing tomorrow. I might have a day off, actually. I'm going to have a day off sooner. But you know me, I'll probably not. Anyway, bless you all, as always, for joining me this evening. I will start to say ta-ra again. I will let you say ta-ra to each other. And, yeah. Hope you have a great the rest of your day, depending on where you are in the world, or evening, as it is for me and Joe, and Colin, and Stephen, and Russ. I think Russ is still in London, and Midge is in America. Anyway, guys, brilliant, top job, cool beans. See you later. Walls in the UK as well. See you later, guys. Ta-ra.